Hello everyone, Dani Zed here, and I welcome two members of the band Tallah from Pennsylvania, USA. So thanks for joining, like the newest new metal sensation, I would say, with hardcore mixing and whatever, but we will go in detail later of that. And yeah, just introduce yourself to the audience who don't know you, please.
Hello, I'm Justin, singer Tallah.
What's up? I'm Cooper and I play bass in Tallah.
And besides that, there you have more members and even two new members. Can you have a little shout out for them as well?
Yeah, of course. We've got Max on drums, we've got Derek on guitar, Alex on guitar, and Musin is our DJ / turntable player.
So you have now the full set. Did you have them already for the recording? I don't think so, right? They are just newly joined, as far as I read it on the internet.
Well, I mean, we had Musin on the recording player, but Alex hadn't joined us yet.
Yeah, I mean, and there's still we still have yet to like play some actual shows with them, so it's still fresh.
Yeah, they're like official, unofficial members.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So it just they were just visible and on the 1st of October in the playthrough of the album.
Yeah, I mean, they'll play more shows with us, but
Yeah.
like they're not going to be like official members until we actually like tour and get to see if they enjoy being in the band.
Okay, so it is just like the live fill-ins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
I have here your album also here. I just received it yesterday actually, so it took some time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Some little advertise here, at least. And so this is your debut album. Besides the like the last video, you shouldn't have read this. The EP. When was the EP released? Last year?
2018.
Oh, 2018 already. So, but all those songs are already also on the album, right?
Yeah, so it's the same songs and the same like stems for the recording. They just got remixed to match the Matriphagy stuff, and then we added some other cool samples and stuff.
So just not remastering, just remixing, or
Yeah, like we didn't re-record any of the guitars or vocals or drums or anything like that.
Yeah. I got to put some actually got to put some distortion on my bass that I was hoping to have, so it actually came across a little bit better than it did in the EP. So I was happy to hear.
Oh yeah, his bass got like reamped, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like we got to it basically what Justin was saying is we made everything just sort of more cohesive with the Matriphagy sound.
okay, cool. So get the best out of the material, right?
Yeah.
And depending on your album, why did you choose that kind of sound? Like to bring, at least I experienced that, to bring this sound from the 2000s to like this year, you know? Why you choose like new metal mixing, Slipknot style, and you know, like this music is when I was a teen, like in the end of the 90s, and you know, you really made it to bring it to 2020 quality. Why was that your sound you wanted to play? Or is it like your favorite music or something?
Yeah, I mean that's a question for Max, but he's not here. But of course, I know he Slipknot and Korn are like two of his favorite bands ever. He grew up listening to like new metal, and he also really likes like Code Orange and like Knock Loose and like all those like hardcore bands.
Yeah.
So he just kind of took his influences and put them together, and then the rest of us just kind of threw some sprinkles on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a bunch of bands that we all listen to and we all like draw influences from that are similar, and then there's a bunch of bands that we all draw influences that are totally opposite from like other stuff that we all listen to. So it's a nice, like you said, it's a nice little we add our sprinkles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also pretty much the same as I've written in my review about your album. I don't know, I sent it to you to the email. Did any one of you read that, my review? For your album?
I did. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought you gave us a pretty fair assessment.
I hope so, yeah.
Give it 10 out of 10.
So at least I had 10 out of 10. Yeah, but for me, it was really like, I think maybe you hit just my G spot of my nostalgic thing. I don't know, because I started listening to Korn in '96, so and all the stuff in the '90s which came in, and like I said, I wrote in a review, you gave me all the stuff I was waiting since the Slipknot second album. So you combined all that with the sound and all the cool Korn vibes, and did those along. Like Justin, you did all those slammy death growls as well, and brought like some Suicide Silence deathcore stuff inside, and that's pretty cool, because also I was listening to Suicide Silence since the demo. I think it was in 2007 or no before, when they came up on MySpace. And I also met Mitch Lucker 2 times or 3 times on the tour before he died, and so this was also everything coming together, and all those influence, and that really got me. Yeah, really cool.
Oh, I'm glad that you.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for that generous review. That's fantastic, man. We all really appreciate that.
Thank you all also as well that you appreciate, and I also do my best. So this is not my job here. This is also still a hobby. You know what I'm doing, my blog and everything. But I'm doing this for nearly 7 years now, and I also think this kind of music is still from fans for fans. At least I see it this way.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Oh yeah, from fans for fans. I like that.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Did you guys also? And then I think Max also get a lot of influences from his dad. I think playing in Dream Theater and stuff like that. That's maybe probably because he became a drummer. But how was your background for this kind of music? Is it also, like I said before, the stuff you were listening to, or do you have different influences you would say you bring to the table for this band?
Oh, definitely in different influences. I grew up listening to like 80s and 90s rap and like Hispanic pop and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
That's what my mom liked to listen to, and then I got into like Days of the New and like A Perfect Circle, and then eventually I got into heavier stuff. But like I listened to like a lot of Sum 41, System of a Down, and then at some point I got into, I think it was around like 2006 or 2007, I finally got into Korn and Slipknot. I don't think I got into Linkin Park until like 2010.
Really?
Like,
when they already sucked, sorry.
A lot of the people, I'll see comments and they're like, whoa, like the vocalist totally got influenced by this guy. And I'm like, I have no idea who that is. Like, I just...
Sorry, just for me as a background, when are you guys born?
When did we form?
No, when you guys born? Just how old are you guys? Sorry for asking.
Oh, Cooper and I are both 1990.
Yeah, so 30.
Okay. Yeah, so then you are the age of my wife. I'm born 85, so I have a little bit, in front of you.
Yeah, you got a couple chips on us.
Yeah, I think so, maybe. That's so funny to see how taste and a little bit like the evolution and stuff like are differently just with a couple of years back. Like for me also, like as a kid, just as an example, all this Pokemon stuff was really not my thing. I was just checking out He-Man and stuff like that from the 80s, yeah. And like you had like 20 minutes of violence, and then you had a speech at the end who was all clarifying that, and that was totally fine. And my wife was totally in that Japanese stuff. That's really, they're just 5 years apart from each other. So it's really cool to see that how evolution is different, like with like little space of time,
Oh yeah,
it's a lot. Like Max is what, 1999, I think.
I think so.
He's
so
21,
so young.
so
Okay.
He's 9 years younger than us. He's the baby of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's fast.
He listens to like he really likes Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Okay.
Like he listens to like a lot of stuff that I don't listen to, and so he's pulling influence from stuff like that too. And I'm like, all right, I guess this works.
Yeah, when you said you were listening to a lot of this 90s hip hop, like for me it was a lot of like the beginning of the 90s, like Snoop Dogg, NWA or something like that. That's for me the old school stuff, the G-Funk,
Oh my God, yeah, Warren G.
Yeah. Also,
My
you know, I'm from Germany. We had all this 90s dance stuff here, you know, with the techno and stuff like that. And my sister was listening that to death, but I was always a rock kid. So I think that just triggers me, whatever. But back to your album at that point, the album called Matriphagy. Hopefully, I pronounced it right in English.
Matriphagy.
Okay, thank you for that. And I just read it from dictionary that it means the condition where organisms feed on their own mother. So yeah, I know that it's a concept album, and I know, Justin, you had a couple of videos on your YouTube channel, I think, about. But for the listeners, can you go a little bit deeper inside of that concept and tell us why you choose that title and everything?
I mean, that's a funny story. So we had the concept all written out, and like the album was mostly recorded. By the time we picked that, we had a different album name originally for the album, and the label was like, "Can you guys do something like more unique and like darker and stuff?" And so I think it was me, Max, and Derek. I'm not sure if you were there, Cooper.
No, you guys went to the gym, I think.
Yeah, we went to the gym while we were at the studio, and on the way there, Max and I were like trying to come up with band album titles, and I stumbled across that word and was like, hold on, what about Matriphagy? And then I looked up what it meant, and I was like, oh, this is perfect, and that was that.
So you did the same thing than I did, went on the internet and check out what it means.
Yeah, because it just like, I was just like suggesting ideas. I'm like, maybe there's like a word for like when like bugs eat other bugs or something like that. And then we found Matriphagy, and it was like, it's mostly connected to like arachnids when they like spiderlings like eat their mom. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And this is also from the story over the album, as far as I read it. It's like from or like a kid's experience over the songs, or was some of the lyrics already done before you chose the title and everything, and the concept was done before?
Oh yeah, everything was done. It was just like we had a different album title, and then we switched it up to Matriphagy like while we were like, I think we might have been recording turntables or something at that time, but yeah, it just, that word happened to fit the concept perfectly, and I was like, this is exactly what this is about, so let's do it.
It's perfect, yeah. It's like the concept totally influenced the name of the album, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, really cool. And can you go do you guys have different steps inside of the songs? Like the how you choose when like song 1, song 2, and whatever, and it needs to be in that kind of order to fulfill the concept. Was that also a thing you did?
Oh, so so originally we had that EP, No One Should Read This, from 2018, and they had already recorded everything. I joined the band after everybody had already like recorded the EP, so I came in and I wrote the lyrics and the vocals and everything, and I self-recorded those, and so the order was already chosen for those. And once we ended up going with Matriphagy, it was like I needed to know what order the songs were going to be in so that I could fill in the concept with like the stuff that I had scrapped and some new ideas. So what ended up happening was like Max would send me an instrumental, and I'd be like, all right, where do you think this is going to go on the album? And he's like, this will probably go between like somewhere between Placenta and We the Sad. And I'd be like, okay, so I'd write the concept, I'd fill in that hole knowing that the song was going to go between those two songs, and it kind of just filled out like that.
Okay, and also when you said like with those samples you were using inside of the songs, and also in your live playthrough between the songs, this is really like especially in the live playthrough when you had this VHS effect, something like that, to make it really old school from the tape. That really reminded me also of the 90s first Slipknot home tape and stuff like that. Was that some kind of the goal you want to heading for? Like the Welcome to Our Neighborhood, or how was the tape called? I think from Slipknot from 99. That really reminded me that kind of sound, and also like the quality. I still have the original tape from Korn from 1996 from Who Then Now. It's pretty much also that kind of era thing, you know, visually. Then also like from the samples and everything. So I think we did really a great job to bring
thanks
that
so
kind
much.
of vibe back, you know.
Oh, did you ask a question?
Yeah, I just said that you did a really great job bringing that vibe back, and was that your goal also to do it like this, you know?
Honestly, I'm not sure. That's all Max, and he's not here to answer the question.
Okay, so he's the boss, depending on the sound,
he just likes that aesthetic. He likes that really old school, like VHS looking thing. So like, that's what he does. So that's what we do.
I think it's become, I don't know if it's like become an actual theme, but like, you know, in a lot of our music videos there's that like glitchy sort of style where it's like very stuttery, and I think it adds just a cool sort of suspenseful element sort of thing to whatever media we end up putting out. It's just cool.
It looks like what is it, like found footage?
Found footage,
really like
I think that's what they call it.
Blair Witch
like
style
they
or something
found
like
it
that.
and it's all corrupt and like creepy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
fucking-
Yeah, it's like found it in the basement and brought it back to light or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like there's a ghost in the tape or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But honestly, I had
right.
I had to scrap in my cellar 600 VHS tapes. I
600?
I recorded like a maniac in the 90s as a kid, and they were in the cellar of my parents' store, and it was too much humidity. It was just wet, and they just got rot away. But you know, the quality is shit. But a lot of good stuff got rot away because I recorded everything from TV and all the, you know, how was it? It was called Super Rock in the end of the 90s from MTV, but it was showing the whole night metal music, just broadcasting that like for 3 hours, and I was recording that every weekend. So it's sad about that material, but yeah, happens.
Oh.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Sadly, yeah. And as you said, when you said the most of the songs were already written when you joined Justin, were there also the lyrics all written, or you did it by yourself then afterwards? Just the music was written.
The lyrics are all me. It was when I joined the band. So I think Max formed the band with Derek and Cooper in like September 2017.
Yeah.
Then tried out a couple different guitarists. I think they tried out a couple different vocalists, and then I ended up joining like in January 2018. So they had already recorded 5 songs from the EP. So then Max just gave me those like unmixed versions, and I just wrote over those.
Okay, got it. And when we go on, you know, picking a different kind of songs, like the opener song, you shouldn't have read this. And like I said, the music, was it mostly written really by Max, or it was like a combining of a few guys with the instruments? Or did he come up with the concept?
Mostly Max writes like the skeleton of it. He writes like
the rhythm and everything runs.
He writes like the muscles and all that, and then kind of the rest of us come in and like put on like the skin and, you know, make it a person.
Yeah, we add our little flourishes. Derek writes his solo, solos, I should say. You know, a handful of things might change either, you know, in the process of, you know, practicing, rehearsing. And even in the studio, we ended up changing some things and moving some parts around or speeding things up. Or I remember writing just an entirely different part for a bridge in Overconfidence that I didn't do in any of the rehearsals, but we wanted something to, you know, to go there that would fit, and we were like, all right, well, let's work on a couple of things, you know, while we're in there and see what fits. And then we ended up not settling because we're all really happy with it. But we ended up going with something that, you know, is now what's on the track.
Okay, cool. And for you, Justin, when you were writing the lyrics and also doing the vocals, just as an example, the third song, Kungan, and you also did in the mid of the song, you did this like Jonathan Davis thing, like water. I was really reminded to Life is Peachy, the opener. Was that your kind of idea to bring that in?
So I've never listened to Life is Peachy, so
Really? Oh, come on.
Yeah. I think the only Korn album I own is that one. I don't think it's Untouchables. It's that one with Coming Undone on it.
No, Coming Undone is
See You on the Other Side.
See You on the Other Side, right?
See You on the Other Side is the only Korn album that I've listened to in full. And
Really?
yeah. So I don't like. It's funny because I get compared to Jonathan Davis a lot, and I'm like, I really haven't listened to that much Korn.
That's
that's really funny.
Like progressive deathcore.
Yeah, because you have a lot of that like a vibe you brought into the songs. Honestly, for me, as like nearly 25 years fan of Korn, I can really tell you that you brought a lot of the vibes to it, especially with that kind of singing in that song in Kungan.
It's crazy. We get compared to Slipknot all the time, and I haven't listened to a full Slipknot album. I listened to like a few random songs.
Yeah, but that's definitely the drumming of Max, I can tell you, because he's doing this Joey Jordison headbanging while playing, at least in the videos, and also his kind of a rhythmic style of playing the drums. That's what the first two Slipknot album made, honestly, in my opinion at least. And I can just say that from a listener. I think when the first Slipknot album came out, I was 14, yeah, and I bought it right away. And they also played that like a year later in my town, yeah, and to see that evolution, that was really because from the third album for me they got like lower and lower, and I didn't like the last album as well because I know if Justin, you said you didn't listen to a full album, but did any one of you listen to the last one, the Slipknot?
I listened to that one song off it. I think it was called like Nero Forte or something.
Yeah.
I listened to that, and then Max played, I think, what was it, the one about the spiders? He listened to that one. He played that one in his car. I thought that one was cool, but I don't know, his screams, they changed.
Yeah, for me, what really killed this album, because I really worship the first two, and then they have good songs on the other one albums, but I didn't like it as a full concept or as a full album, the other ones. But on the new album they had really great ideas in my opinion, but each song, or nearly the most of the songs, start really great, and then they throw in this cheesy pop reference. I don't know. This is like, it's like you get really in the mood, like so, God damn it, yeah, that's good, and then it's like it became like from Slipknot, it changes to Nickelback in 1 second. That killed it for me.
That's pretty drastic.
That's
I haven't listened to the full thing, but I know Joey's not in the band anymore.
No, he got kicked out in 2013.
Writing, but I'd imagine when you lose like core members of your band, your writing process is going to change and the music's going to sound different anyway. Plus, how old Corey now? Like 45?
I think so, yeah. Or even older. I think they're close to their 50s.
He's getting there.
Yeah, Corey's 46. So I'd imagine like he was probably 20-something when they.
Yeah, sure. You're not that angry as you were as a 20-year-old. You know. Yeah, I get it.
I'm sure he mellowed out. I mean, he's still screaming. He's still killing it. But he just mellowed out a little bit. And I guess.
Yeah.
I saw them in I saw them in February here in my near to my town, and they really killed it live. Still live, absolutely great. But it's like
awesome.
I like songs from all albums, but for me, just the first two albums are like the sound I like. That's just my personal opinion, so no blames if you change your style. It's like you are an artist, do whatever the fuck you want, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, because when artists, stay the same, what does everyone say about them? All their stuff sounds the same. And
depends, there are some kind of bands, they always, doing the same stuff or with each album, and they're still successful, but that's not the pair of shoes which fits anyone.
It's always nice to see bands taking a chance. I like to see them, branching out, trying something weird, trying something different. It may not work, but at least they're doing something that's not the norm.
Yeah, surely for sure. And also, I think that's I have so many friends doing music, especially because I'm normally an underground death metal grindcore fanatic. That's where I came from, and I have a lot of people I know in that kind of scene. And also, it doesn't depend if it's extreme or not extreme and rock or whatever. But I think every artist needs to explore some kind of their abilities and find out what you like and do different things. And why not have different projects? I know a lot of people. I don't know if you know the Norwegian black metal band Emperor.
I haven't heard of them.
No, yeah,
it's a really a classic hit from also 90s, and they still exist until today. I saw them like 2 years ago. But also some members and the singer and the guitarist of the band, he's like a super sick musician. And also now he's playing with his son in another band. He's doing like prog rock and everything, with clean singing, high notes and everything. This is like, man, you can do this extreme. You have that one band, you do that with that. But you can do other projects like totally to explore your abilities and everything. Is it also a point for you guys that you want to do different things in music?
I mean, I have like 5 solo projects outside of Tallah.
I actually
found me.
Yeah, I play in 2 other bands, and that's how I met Max. One of my other bands was playing with him with Max's old band, and that's how Max also met Derek. So I mean, we've all had our own projects and stuff like that, and I want to start a funk band later on for sure, like a 50 rotating member funk band.
Okay. But from the sound, like I see in your background, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my wife would like it. She's a really, really big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love a lot of like alternative stuff. Like Coheed and Cambria is a big, huge one of my favorite bands. Red Hot Chili Peppers, obviously. I mean, there's so many right now, but those are probably like Silver Sun Pickups. Love those guys.
And what do you say when you have the different influences? Like Justin, you said you were listening a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. Actually, what are your last like 5 CDs you had in your car or your Spotify playlist? Sorry.
Oh man, I've got what?
My car right now.
One band that we played with them in Boomtown. These guys, Palm Reader. I like these guys a lot. They have a new album coming out, and I'm stoked for it.
What kind of sound is that?
It's like progressive metal mixed with like alternative, like not progressive metal like Rush or like Dream Theater, but like just like proggy in general. Like it's weird, it's different.
Yeah.
And they're screaming in it, but it's almost like a progressive like metalcore kind of band. I got Disillusioned. They're more progressive death metal. Pathogenic. They're progressive deathcore. Like I like when bands have the progressive element but aren't pure prog.
Yeah.
So it's like that's mostly what's in my car right now.
I have a 50 CD. Like I have a big old case of CDs, so it's just constantly rotating. But what I have right now next to me is my 2 vinyls that I have out, and this is actually a band that was playing Boomtown while we were also playing Boomtown in the same day. And I just wandered into their set, and I was just like, this is fucking crazy. They're called the Popes of Chilitown. And I didn't know what their name was when I wandered into their set, and they were just like this big ska band with like these like just a wild punk energy. It was so fun. And then also right now I have another band that we played with called Sharptooth. This is their latest album called Transitional Forms, and it's got like a fossilized dinosaur on the front. So they're both really cool. We played with Sharptooth, and they're awesome. This new album of theirs is really heavy, and just it's really, really cool.
Oh, cool! I definitely need to check that out. I always in the exploring status for new music. I'm a really big collector for 20 years plus. I think I have. I just looked to my left. I think I have 4,000 CDs or something like that.
Holy cow!
Wait a second. I can cut it out as well. It's just for you guys.
Man.
That's higher than I can.
I just changed my webcam.
Get the sneak peek. Oh my god, dude!
It's
You see
still
that?
frozen for me.
Oh, sorry, but I think that then
I'll
it's
take
your
Cooper's
internet
reaction
connection.
for it.
It's like a wall of CDs. Like imagine an entire wall and then just make it all CDs.
Oh, that's incredible. I wish I could see it. That's
And then
incredible.
I send you a picture later. That's no problem.
That's CDs too.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my hobby, or I don't know. Let's call it an addiction. I think.
It works either way.
It could be worse. Could be worse.
Yeah, you
Just
could be doing something else.
It's like always, you know. I'm married for over 5 years. Never tell your wife how much money you spend on records.
If I ever get hitched, I'm gonna have a problem with buying bass guitars.
It's like for every musician. I don't think that's
Yeah.
any different for anyone.
Be like, all right, I'm gonna have to explain this one. I have to work some real magic to explain this.
It's like one of my friends in I think my friend Jesse in Incinerate told me that it's like from Wisconsin, a death metal band, and he said, "What are you going to do if you win the lottery, like $1 million? I'm gonna tour with my death metal band until the money is gone." You know.
Yo.
Because you know, with that kind of extreme music, you normally never make money. It's mostly just a hobby you pay on top if you play underground stuff, you know.
I mean,
Yeah, you gotta be innovative as heck to make money in that genre.
I think the only one who's making money is still 6 Feet Under and Cannibal Corpse. I think maybe
Yeah, and like,
Suffocation.
what are
That's
they?
it.
Maybe a Monomarth a little bit, but they're a little bit more Viking metal.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that or like Arch Enemy or something like that, you know, like the more mainstream stuff, yeah. But really hard, you know, since you know, in the beginning of the 2000s when Napster and everything came up. For sure, you guys will recognize that it was well. You have to get you know, payment with streaming and everything. I don't know how good is the payment depending on record sales.
I don't know either.
no idea.
Well, that's a question we'll have to ask our label after this call.
Yeah,
But
that's really something we should probably know.
But if you are already on the label, why did you choose ERH Records? It's really cool that ERH Records like took a band like you guys.
They chose us.
Yeah,
right.
Because they in the 80s and everything, they take all those cool UK grindcore bands like Napalm Death and everything, like getting all those, you know, new stuff out, and then they choose a band like you, which is not typical for their rooster. So I was really surprised that you were on that label. But really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like an interesting situation. They didn't know any of us, and the main guy, Digby, he was listening to Spotify, I guess, and our song Placenta was in like a new metal playlist. He heard it, loved it, saw we were an indie band, and then got his guy Al in America to like reach out to us. And I think it was like 2 months later we signed the contracts. Like we were talking to them for, well, I think Al came to see us in January and like liked us, and we took us out to eat, and it was just like a whole thing. And it was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So we love Earache. Like they've done so much for us. They're such they give us so much freedom. That's another thing. That's because you know a lot of bands bitch about their labels and they're like, yeah, like they did this and this. So it's like Earache's given us so much creative freedom, and they just like believe in us and they push us. Like this is like the label for us to be on. Like
It's more like an independent label that you can do what your artistic mind is saying you want your kind of music to sound like.
Yeah, like they really are perfect for us. Like it's like a blessing in disguise.
And they really support us, like in every
they support
like
the crap out of us.
like yeah, exactly. Like they love, like it's not just like, I don't think they saw it as like a business move, like, oh cool, this will be really good for us financially. I think they were like, these guys have something, and I think they actually believe in us as artists, as musicians. Exactly. You know, I think they believe in the band. I think they believe in the music that we make, and I think they believe that, you know, it needs to get out there. So
they're like really like they push us. Like
Yeah.
if we're slacking on our social media, like our guy Tom will come in and he's just like, yo, you guys haven't posted in like a week. Like you need to be
Post
posting every
Instagram
day."
now.
Yeah.
Like they really are like a good label for us. They're pushing us, they believe in us, and they're just like awesome.
Yeah.
Like pushing you like in the social media thing to get your stuff around is okay, but at least that you said that they let you do your thing as an artist is really cool, because I think a lot of the major labels are just say, cut that song down, you need that for the radio, and that's
Yeah.
too heavy or whatever, and if E-Rage is really not like talking into your creation of your music, it's really cool. But I think the big labels doing that.
Like I said, they'll suggest little things. Like our original, we were gonna call the album something else, and they were like, "Nah, you can do better than that." And like they just push us. Like it's
Yeah,
not like no, you can't do that. They just are like, "No, you can do better than that," and then we do better.
That's actually a really good example. Like they basically were like, "That's cool, but I bet you could do something that stands out." Like they just like, "You can improve on that," and that's actually a really good point.
But the only thing for me personally, when I received the album, why there is no booklet?
So from what I understand, the first release of albums, because it's like, I forget exactly what they said, but I believe later stuff is going to have a booklet. Because Max and I designed a whole booklet, like with all the lyrics and everything. We did every page of it. It's ready to go. But I think they just rushed production because they were trying to just get it out in time.
It's not on the CDs, but it is on the vinyls. I know that for sure. So if you order a vinyl, you will get the whole booklet, and it's actually cool because it's like a much bigger, like, so you can sort of see everything in greater detail.
The artwork will be much more good to look at and everything. And yeah, but I to honestly have to say, I saw that from E-Rage before, like from a band called Cerebral. It's a brutal death metal band they brought out in 2010. They had like a tour edition of the album, and there was no booklet, just a 2-pager inside. And then they brought a new edition a year later, and there was like a 10-page booklet inside of that. So maybe I understand it.
Yeah,
that
I could see them doing something like that for us as well.
Yeah, especially when we go on tour. Holy God, whenever that is.
Hopefully soon. I'm really starving of shows, because normally I go like at least once a month to a show or something like that, when I can arrange it with my little family. But now I think actually the last show I went was in February. It was Slipknot.
Oh, wow.
Fingers crossed for 2021.
Yeah. You already had plans for this year, and also like you did a lot of music videos for the album. I don't know, it's like 5 or 6 videos, I think.
I think we're doing the whole album.
Yeah, the whole thing. Okay, cool. And
how
is it going with the Corona situation? Shooting the videos, is it a big problem?
Only the first one, when we did the silo, because that was when like quarantine was at like a peak. So we all had to film our own parts with our own cameras in our own houses and send everything to Max to edit. And then after that, when stuff started relaxing a little bit more, we were able to go out and reach out to some people. And what was his name? Anthony. Yep. He did our videos for LED and Overconfidence, and then we kind of self-recorded. What was it? No One Should Read This. But some of the other videos, like Placenta, We the Sad, and Red Light, we actually recorded those like in 2018 and 2019, and then they got re-released with the new mixes. Yeah. So it's like it gave us extra content, but we really only filmed like one video during bad quarantine, and that was like a lockdown video.
Yeah, that was the one where none of us were together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that with
like lineup changes in those too, because like they're from different times, so there's like other members in them.
Yeah, I saw that from a lot of bands and also friended bands that they were like, I record like my part with me playing guitar or whatever in my basement with a black back screen or whatever, and then someone cuts it together with some effects, because at least that's the best thing you can get out in the current situation. But
yeah, that's pretty much what we did with the silo. Like, I think I'm literally just stumbling around in my basement and had my friend come over and film me.
Dude, I did the same exact thing. My friend came over, he had a mask on, and he was just like filming me, like just being weird as shit in front of a bunch of green tape that I put up all over my basement. I taped up my whole base. It sounded like shit.
And
it looks cool.
Exactly.
can you say how many arranged gigs you had to skip, depending on that situation?
We had a whole tour lined up. I think we had maybe 2 lined up.
We had a tour with Dead Culture in March. That got we were like crossing our fingers because it was literally like the end of March, and then boom, that got canceled. I think we had something with Sharptooth that got canceled.
Yeah,
we had like a big one coming up with like King 810 and Combi Christ, and that one got canceled. Like, we lost like 3 different tours.
It got all kinds of shitty in terms of live shows for us. We just had to pull out. I mean, everybody did. We weren't the only ones, but
yeah, I think like now with your album just released, you need a lot of that live support normally, like bands do. So you're already thinking about like maybe when the flu season is over in March or whatever next year, thinking of going somewhere, depending on how the situation goes.
It really all depends.
I would wear a mask and a face shield if I had to. But I know it's not even about that. It's about it's about everyone else getting together. So like, we'll wait till it's safe. But like, if we can, we'll get there. We'll get out there as soon as we possibly can. I know Earache helped us get with K2 this year. So
yeah.
Hopefully we'll be looking at some stuff in Europe next year. Summertime, maybe, I think, is when a lot of like, they're saying restrictions would be cool to have like venues open again. So
hopefully also in Germany here now it starts with, like, probably for you in the USA as well, all the lockdown shit starts again with all the skyrocketing numbers. I work from home since March, to be honest. Yeah, for me as an IT guy it's okay, but for other people have like jobs where you have to be in place, it's really, really hard. And yeah, sure, I hope for you guys you really can do like the summer stuff, because like we in Europe, we are spoiled with open air festivals and stuff like that. So you can catch up some of them for sure. And I really love to see you guys play it live here. I would be there for sure.
Oh yeah, I would love to go to Germany. That'd be so nice.
Message us when we get a show out there, and we'll try and link up.
Yeah, we have good beer, so no problem.
I gotta try some German beer.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm gonna try. What?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So sorry, you guys were stuck for a second in the video. I didn't get the last 10 seconds.
I want to try some German beer and German chocolate.
Yeah, no problem. We have a lot of that, yeah. But chocolate, you even get the Swiss stuff from Switzerland. That's even better.
Oh, okay, all right, you say so.
Hey,
yeah, but that's a problem. Also, if you do like
it's gotta be.
Yeah,
if you're going to like a more like a club show thing, I also can record a show of you guys if you want. That's no problem, because if you check out my YouTube channel, I think I have over 600 videos up, something like that, and I have many live shows I recorded like with 3 or 4 cameras and stuff like that. It's just like a hobby. I'm just a one-man show, but I can do that if you want to. But I don't know how big your tour will be in Europe.
We have no idea.
And besides that, we can talk before you have to go to your label appointment about the live playthrough you recorded, and like in this barn, or it looked like a barn. Like also this old school vibe came over from that recording. How did that came up, and the idea of doing like a live playthrough of the album to support the album as well?
I mean, just based on what we are going through, everyone's like with the pandemic and everything, we wanted to give some, a live experience in some way. So we wanted it to be unique. We wanted it to be kind of different than, the fact that we had to do a live video like playthrough anyways was kind of unique in and of itself. But once bands started doing that, there seemed to be like not a generic format, but like a universal format, I guess, and everyone, you know, would be either in their home studios playing, or they'd be, you know, in an empty venue, and we wanted to make sure that we did I know Max specifically wanted to make sure that we did something that was not that, so we wanted to choose something like creepy and the same aesthetic of the album, so we wanted to make sure we could do something that sort of stood out and was also in the same vein of like with the themes of the songs.
With this hanging puppets from the ceiling and everything, but I at least I was feeling that you guys had really big fun doing that. I think your female guitarist, she was like smiling the whole 50 minutes.
That's what she does. She's so bubbly.
Yeah, she's great.
I'll say I was not having a good time at all. I threw out my back.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah,
the day before that. And I'm still doing flips and stuff, and I didn't want to like bother anyone and be like, "Hey guys, just so you know, I threw my back," because then it's like, well, now everyone's gonna be worried about me and throw off the whole vibe. So I was like, I'll just keep it to myself and just be in pain and solitude. And then on top of that, I think I went a little too hard vocally at practice. So like my vocals were like 75%. Plus we're in this like dusty like barn thing, and I was just like, man, like I'm ruining this for everybody. And when I watched it back, I was like, all right, like, I look fine. I sound okay. I could have sounded and looked better. But overall, it was decent.
I kind of felt the same way. I was like, oh, it's kind of really harsh. This is like, I was stumbling around because, like, we were on, like, this terrain was, like, you couldn't tell from the video, but, like, there was basically, like, a dip right where we were all standing and performing and running around each other. And, like, I fell into Alex. I stepped on her pedals. I fell on like the platform thing that Max's drums were on. So like, you know, it's fairly typical of what happens at a show. But also, we weren't used to that terrain. So like, it was kind of like I was again kind of similar. I was worried that it was gonna, you know, not be as good as we were hoping. But when we watched it back, I was like, all right, no, I didn't fuck up so bad. I also puked in the end of No One Should Read This.
No, it was too quick to grieve.
Too quick to grieve, yeah.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for the inside views, yeah. And I showed this when I found out. I think I heard a couple of weeks ago or months ago. I heard some singles and were staying a track at you guys. And then when the album was released, I was really. To be honest, like I wrote, my review was really blown away, like with the nostalgia thing going on. But I also spread around your live playthroughs to some of my friends who have like pretty much the same musical taste, depending on like back in the day new metal and stuff. And they all of them got addicted to your stuff, to be honest. So at least I made like 3 or 5 new fans.
Hey man, thank you very much. Seriously, we appreciate that.
And also, I don't think that, Justin, from your side, the back pain was not seeable, at least, in the video.
Oh, I can see it. But
yeah, sure.
Like, I'm
your buddy, yeah.
standing really weird, and, like, I can tell by my movements. I'm like, yeah, that's when I was in a lot of pain right there.
I will say one thing. I was farting so much during that set. That was probably the most I farted during any set ever.
Okay, so but nobody was like, I couldn't see in the video, like everybody's like looking to you.
I couldn't tell a thing.
No, that was the thing. It wasn't like dangerous. It was just like just happening.
Yeah, it was not like a deadly steamer going around in the barn.
No, none of that. None of that, thankfully. Because it was an enclosed space. If that would have been the case, everyone would have been puking.
Okay, I think that's the best statement for ending the call, because I know you guys I know you guys have to go to your next appointment. So I just can say thank you so much to getting that arranged really quickly and just really easily. And
no problem.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it talking with you guys, and I hope you will have a nice day. And
you too.
I will bring this out as soon as possible with cutting, and yeah, I will send you the link. And then hopefully to see you guys next year around.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for having us. Seriously.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then, yeah, just stay in touch, guys.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Around.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.